For those who know me, I often encourage the practice of what we call the five reflections. And I would say, especially in these days with a pandemic, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time, uh, it might be a good idea to shoot a little video just to remind my friends out there to keep up with this practice, but also introduce it to people that might not be familiar with it. There's many styles of meditation. This style we might refer to as reflection. And in some sense, I think many people will find this easier than some of the forms of meditation you might have heard of before, in particular following the breath and developing concentration, which is quite a powerful skill, but for most requires a very concerted practice over time. The reflective meditations are contemplations more on a theme. And the five reflections is a theme around the truth of aging, illness, sickness, separation from the loved, and the nature of karma, or kama as we call it in the Pali tradition. It's a reflection that myself I do almost every day, if not once, a couple times. And oftentimes it's something I bring up at the start of the day to arouse a sense of urgency, to focus the mind, and to visit these kind of deeper truths of a human life. Some might not be accustomed to an intentional practice where you're contemplating the nature of your body to sicken inevitably and not having ultimately control over that process, or to contemplate the very aging process and everything that entails, the weakening of the immune system, being more prone to various types of ailments, and eventually culminating in our very death for most of us. Separation from the loved is not something we want to dwell on. Our habit is to hope and wish and to make efforts to hold on to the goodness and to spend as much time with the things and the people and the situations that we deeply cherish, and inviting the very truth that at some time we will be separated from these things. Can be challenging, difficult, and at the outset might not strike one as a smart way to use your time. And then the very nature of kama is one that starts to build a sense of acceptance and equanimity around the truth that ultimately we're not in control of our life. We can make intentional choices, and we can put forth effort in choosing what to resolve in terms of the motivations and intentions that come up in our life, as well as the things that we want to encourage in our life that support well-being and goodness. And those choices now and moving forward in the future shape the kind of worlds that we find ourselves in, more so than some sort of innate personality or some specialness that the Buddha would attribute to a belief in self, or atta. So quite simply, a meditation like this is something that I see as akin to a daily vitamin or a daily prophylactic. These aren't the kinds of things that we normally invite into our life, and we're oftentimes wishing and wanting and hoping that we won't have to bring these things to mind. This meditation moves in the opposite direction. Instead, we carve out time where the mind is in a very peaceful, wholesome sort of place, and then we invite these things into the mind in order to familiarize ourselves with them, to check in and to contemplate and to grow insight and acceptance into these very truths. A common form that we practice in our monasteries, in our morning and in our evening chanting, we have a short reflection that comes out of the Buddhist teachings where we recite, I am of the nature to age, I have not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to sicken, I have not gone beyond sickness. I am of the nature to die, I have not gone beyond dying. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. I'm the owner of my karma, heir of my karma, born of my karma, related to my karma, abide supported by my karma. And whatever karma I shall do, if it's good or for ill, of that I'll be the heir, or it's that shapes my life. So this is a short chant coming right from the time of the Buddha, and he says this is something that we should reflect upon again and again, or frequently. You can find this in our chanting book, and I'll endeavor to put a link to a PDF of that down below. And my recommendation is that you write this down, or better yet, spend some time and memorize it. And if it seems like a meditation or a reflection that you'd like to try on, I think you would do well to experiment with it in these days. And write it down on a little card, memorize it, put it in front of you, and maybe in the morning, just spend 5 minutes reading over that in a calm, clear sort of state, not to arouse any fear or anxiety, but just to check in on this and acknowledge that these are truths. We will sicken, we will age, we will die, we will be separated from the things in life that we love, and we are an heir to our karma. So just a little suggestion for these times, and maybe an introduction to this as a form of meditation for people. And maybe at some other time I could go into some other supports, but I think for today I'll just leave it at that and encourage people to investigate this meditation on the 5 subjects for frequent recollection. So I hope you find some use in that, and give it a few weeks and see how it strikes one, and see if it doesn't kind of help grow one's acceptance of these truths. So I hope you're all well, and I'll be looking forward to connecting with you again in the future.